Kawhi Leonard, obviously elite. I want to know who the best player in this series is. Who do you think? What do you think, Vince? I'll put you on first.
Kawhi.
Yeah?
I think overall. Just, he like Stack's gonna. I'll let you have that, but I think he's gonna say what he's gonna say. But I think he. No, seriously, it's just he's doing it on both ends.
Okay.
And he's getting the job done. And I think the most consistent player. He scored 30 points 13 times. He's 3 off of the record right now. I mean, it's just he's been amazing.
And we both saying the same thing. He plays on both ends, and when we say the best player is the player that does everything on the court. He makes plays, he defends. He took Greek Freak completely out of this series. So KD might be the best scorer. Him and Steph might be better scorers, but the best player in this series is by far Kawhi Leonard.
The best player through 3 games in this series has been Stephen Curry. The best player, and that's partly because without KD, Kawhi has no one to shut down. So Kawhi has not been able to unleash his defensive prowess on every possession. But the Kawhi that can do that, the Kawhi that has a target like Giannis, that guy's the best player overall in this series because he can impact literally every single possession in a way that Steph can.
Hey, and with doing that, locking him down, he still scored 30 points.
It was incredible. That guy,
that's what's impressive.
Yeah.
If KD comes back, do you see Kawhi engaging on him in that way?
Absolutely. If KD comes back, the whole series changes. And change number 1 is now we have that matchup that everybody wants to see.
Exactly. Right. Well, I'm going to read you just for the first 3 games of this final. Steph's averaging about 35 points, Kawhi 29. Obviously, that doesn't take in all the defensive things. And, there's a bunch of, obviously, you tell me which of these you think is the most important. But I do think that Steph's presence in terms of value to his team, what he did in Game 3, even though they didn't win, I think that was something that you got to count when you talk about this whole thing.
He put them in position to win that game. Absolutely. If they had played a good defensive game, they could have won Game 3, which is crazy considering how many injuries they had.
He played well, but none of that matters. 2-1. That's all that matters. 2-1.
That's what matters. All right, sticking with free agency, you heard me talk about that with Kawhi. Teams and players will be allowed to start. This is my favorite thing. I'm going to read this for you. They'll be allowed to start negotiating on June 3rd at 6 p.m. And I've got a bridge you can buy if you believe the sentence that I just said. They can't actually sign contracts with a few exceptions until noon on July 6th, but we know that they are going to be able to talk to each other before then.
No.
I know. It's amazing. Do you have a prediction for us for free agency?
My bold prediction for it, they asked for a bold prediction. I think Sixers will not bring everybody back. That's going to be my bold prediction for free agency.
Okay. All right. Well, see, there you go. We're going to have to make some decisions there. Do you have anything? We do know also the Nets just cleared some room, so I want to talk about that as we go through and talk about free agency. Woj reporting the Nets have agreed to trade Alan Crabbe, the number 17 pick in the draft, and the number 17 pick in this upcoming draft, along with the 2020 lottery-protected first-round pick. These all go to the Hawks for Taurean Prince, a 2021 second-round pick. And basically, all of this is a very long and complicated way of saying they are clearing space for them for free agency. It would let them create 2 max slots and, right, Zach, to still sign D'Angelo Russell if they wanted to?
No, they're going to have to re-announce D'Angelo Russell to get the second max slot. That's what's interesting about the trade, though. They had an easy path to 1. They didn't need to do any of this stuff and give up 2 first-round picks unless they want 2. And to give up this price, this is a high price to dump 1 year of salary. 2 first-round picks. Now, they like Taurean Prince, so that mitigates a little. It suggests to me that they got some intel. They know something. They're confident someone's coming.
So what's your bold prediction off of that, Steven Jackson?
My bold prediction that I have from my paper, the Clippers will get a big free agent.
Ooh.
That's my bold prediction.
So the Nets will have done this and maybe it wouldn't have done
it. Oh, no, the Nets know what they're doing. It could be a Kyrie Jimmy. It could be a Kyrie KD. They making room for somebody. And if they're getting rid of D'Angelo Russell, they got something up their sleeve. That's a good kid.
I don't really have.
That's somebody to hold on to.
Still playing.
You're still playing.
That's right.
That's my bold prediction.
Vince likes
I'm
my
coming
bold
back.
We should predict where he signs. That's what
I predict Vince Carter will play next year.
Exactly. Do you have a sense of what you want to do, or where you want to be?
I'm just, I know where I fall in the pecking order, so I just kind of wait until the explosion and smoke clears, and then, I'll probably get a phone call or 2 here.
Well, I think it's funny. I bring you up as an example a lot of time on the show when we talk about vets trying to figure out where they belong in the league. And there's 2 strategies, right? There's 2 paths. You can sign on with a championship contender, hoping you'll be sort of that final veteran voice and piece. You're not going to play a lot. You might not play at all. And sort of you end up as a quasi-assistant coach, and you just kind of cross your fingers and hope that it gets you a ring. And guys can feel like, good, I earned a ring, but I earned it not really playing as much, but doing it this way. The other route is to go what you have done, which is to play to go to places where you can play basketball, really mentor and be an example and work with the younger kids in the franchise, but do it on the court, be a thrill for the fans in the arena, maybe not always into a championship contender, but a contender that can try to make the playoffs. And do
let me say
something
this,
fun.
it's a tough decision, you know, because at the end of the day, every player wants to have a ring. Like my man, you know what I'm saying? You know, and that's definitely a goal and always been a goal and a dream of mine. But at the same time, you know, I want to play. I can't imagine for me and who I am and my love for the game, sitting on a bench. And yes, I'm going to still help a player and do what I have to do. But I can't imagine going 10, 12, 13 games and just sitting there and do. I just can't do it. I just feel like I have something to give to the game still. When maybe I can't do that anymore and a team says, hey, we would love to have you there, and I know darn well that I can't compete at that level,
Right.
then maybe, but not right now.
I mean, the man can still do a reverse dunk in full suit.
He's
so
still
there's
good.
That.
He's still good. This
yeah.
isn't some. He's still good.
No, do you have a sense of where he should go?
He should go wherever he wants. I will say he's reached a status where, like you talked about a ring, like there are just guys who are. He has nothing left to prove.
No, he
ring or no,
transcends
there's
that.
nothing. You don't need any validation on your career.
Absolutely.
I think every team needs a Vince Carter. You know, it's having so many young guys that's misguided in the game that don't understand how to compete or prepare or understand the will and the focus to win. Every team needs a veteran like him that's been there, that understands the game, that can help these guys. And Steve said he wants you on the Knicks.
Well, there you go. Producer Steve wants everybody.
Maybe not, want everybody on the Knicks.
Not twist it. Well, I'm fascinated the Nets cleared all this room. I do think you're right that they know something. I am interested because if Kyrie is in the equation, that does domino and affect D'Angelo Russell, of course. I think you're right about the Clippers as well.